people, welcome to a very special edition of the finger-tapping frenzy that we know and love as WWE SuperCard Survivor Tier. Are you a survivor? Did you get up to survivor level? What card did you get? Let us know in the comments down below. A lot of great pictures floating around Twitter last night, but of course a lot of false starts as well. Sat down with Ninja Boy Wednesday evening UK time. It was about 7:30. We've got the news, the download had started. Great. Get everything set up, ready to film, and as soon as the system's back up again, we're in there and there's no update that you can see. So of course poor Ninja Boy had to go to bed and I had to wait because I couldn't do this without him. I had to wait till this morning, Thursday morning before school. I managed to grab him for like 10 minutes where we've gone through our decks, had a look to see what the little changes are, and I've gone to collect that all so important first ever Survivor card on Season 2. I'm going to have to apologise for something else here as well. Obviously there's been an awful lot of problems going on in capital cities around Europe right now. What's happening outside of our flat here in just on the outskirts of London is every 5 or 10 minutes there's police helicopters whizzing over, there's sirens going on. A lot of it is false alarms, but obviously they've got a job to do. But it does mean now and again it gets quite a bit noisy out there. So if you hear something going on that resembles some sort of Paul Verhoeven film, don't worry about it. They're not coming for me. They're just making sure that we're safe where we are. Anyway, I've spoken enough. What I'm going to say is you will see during the course of this episode, we're going to do a flashback now to this morning when Ninja Boy and I were getting our cards. But whilst that's going on, there's also going to be little cards that I've collected images from Twitter and from the pictures that you've sent us and comments on YouTube as well. A little bit of info about some of those Survivor cards that have come out. Now you'll have already seen floating around my head quite a few pictures, hopefully, if all my editing skills have come to the fore. But now, before I go any further, let's go back to about 7 o'clock this morning and see how me and Ninja Boy did. Hello people, here we are, 7 o'clock in the morning in the UK on Thursday, and of course the big buzz is to see if we've moved up by a tier. Now, I'm expected to move up to Survivor because I was on Legendary plus. Ninja Boy, we're not quite sure, so he's going to have a quick check first. Fingers crossed for him, but it's doubtful. We'll have a look. Have a look and see how he's done. No, just maybe moved up slightly, but not enough. Never mind, I'm sure you're going to get there soon, mate. Never mind, buddy. Never mind, bro. Now then, it's the Survivor time. Let's have a look and see where I am with my cards. Nearly midway on Survivor. So I better get on with some action. See how we get on. Now, you'll probably have noticed, the astute amongst you there, that I've got my Alberto Del Rio finally probed, and I've also got a Rock. A Rock who's here. Who's a Legendary Pro, although I can't actually remember if he was in that deck.
Yeah, he is.
He was he?
He's right there.
Just so excited to get this done. See how we go. Of course, if you remember, when I was going up to Ultra Rare before, and we played through the deck, and it didn't give me a card.
Oh, it gave you a rare Xavier Woods.
And we were like, what?
And then you got Ultra Rare.
But then we played through the next deck, and the card, it was a Bray Wyatt, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was hiding in the next deck.
And then I was like, yay, we're Bray buddies.
Paul Bearer. There's some new deck cards. I shall be scattering pictures around us as
I might as well start playing.
we make this video. There's new deck cards throughout the setup, which is going to make life a bit more interesting. They're not stats to all at the moment, and Freddie Blassie does make an appearance, and he's not stats to all. So it will be interesting to see. What I'm going to do here. Interesting to see what happens with the fusions. But for now, that's in the future. For now, let's concentrate on this Survivor.
There's loads of card customization.
Although I couldn't play last night because I was waiting for Ninja Boy to get some sleep and to wake up this morning, I did enjoy watching some videos. SuperZom did a great stream, and he'll be following that up by issuing that stream in chunks in his videos, so different videos. But during the course of that, he spent 60,000 credits. 60,000 credits on cards, on these new Legendary to Survivor packs. So that in itself, I'm assuming that you guys can't afford 60,000 credits. We certainly can't. So to see someone being able to spend that sort of cash in pursuit of the cards. Gives you an idea as to how often these Survivor cards will land out of those packs. So that's worth watching when they come out. And Kill Moose Kill, great reaction to his cards. I'm still chuckling now. So there's some good videos out there already for people getting their first Survivor cards. Right, Diva Charisma, I need to come back in this one. There's Eve. One of the things I did very quickly was as soon as the update had landed, I went into a King of the Ring. Now, sadly, it didn't take me up to Survivor level, but for Legendary, it was now showing 2 Legendary cards as a prize. Survivor? Survivor? And but it waited for ages before kicking off, and by the time it did, about 7 of my opponents have all got Survivor cards as avatars. So that plan didn't kind of work, because I was hoping that I could get in there quickly and be fighting a load of bots and pick up some cards fairly cheaply. Never mind, you've got to try these things. Right. What are we doing for time? Let's see where we go from here. It's my speeded up Finn Balor. We'll win this one.
Against AJ Beckham.
And then so much speed. Oh dear. It's not his best. But does the job. So we'll get a couple from that. Now then, Survivor. If you've got any stat on your Survivor card, on the base stat that's 700 plus, that's good. Most of them are around the 600s. Really, if there's a 700 plus, which there's some Stone Cold Steve Austins and etc. then.
Go middle.
Survivor? Oh, come on. Stop teasing. Stop teasing. At the black. I'm playing the black.
Black. The black.
Of course, we would love to hear, although I've got plenty of pictures already saved from people's various pulls on Survivor level, and as I mentioned, I'll be scattering those cards around during the course of this video. It would be interesting to hear what you guys have got, those of you who've moved up, and even you guys who've bumped up to Legendary or what have you. There's a few people I was advising not to get their ladder rewards in the last couple of days because they were close to going up a tier. Didn't realise that it wasn't just Legendary to Survivor that was going to happen. So I'd be interested to hear if you guys did actually get bumped up a level and got a better card as a result. Right, here we go. I lost that one. That's not good. Normally when you lose though, you get a good card.
Yeah. So
Survivor.
Oh, that pause.
Shimmers.
That pause was mental.
Right, come on. Let's get a clean sweep on this one.
That's the pause of doom.
Let's get a clean sweep on this one.
Yeah, a clean sweep of being guaranteed survival.
Yeah, right. Oh, stinger. I've been stingered. I've been stingered. Alberto Del Rio. Still got a bit of powering up of him and The Rock to do. Some stats need sorting, but that's why they're in this deck. Right now, I've lost again.
They both props.
Jeez, man. It's a glorious way in which to pick up your first Survivor card. 3-0 defeat. That's got to be a guarantee. Survivor?
It was a perfect game. Just defeat.
It was a perfect game. It's just to them. Right, Terminator. We're playing the Terminator. Right, he's already got his Survivor Eric Rowans. Have you guys been customising your cards? What have you been up to? I've had a bit of a play.
Oh, there's a customiser.
Yeah, quite a few Nikki Bellas have changed already. God, come on, what's going on here?
I've got a few customizers.
Customizations. Come on. That one all toughness. Oh, man alive. Here we go. Right, this has got to happen.
Why did you win?
Ready for this?
Yeah. Oh, Survivor Roman.
I'm looking for a stat in the 700s. That's what would be nice. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Charlotte's, it's got to be this one. If it's not, I'm going to be flipping annoyed if it's happened again. And we get
Bubba Ray.
Bubba Ray. It's pretty crappy, but it's my first Survivor card, so I think I've got a bit more hair than him. Just take a little snap of that. That's a bit of a disappointment because it's not a great card, but it's the first Survivor card. First step on a long way into the new tier of the game. So that'll do for now, because we've got to really got to get his packed lunch ready, he's got to get dressed, got to clear off to school. But I'm going to be back to film a bit more of this a bit later on. And just to show you some of the other cards that have come out. And that'll all be happening, about now. So there you have it. I can't say I was overly excited to get Bubba Ray, but it's a Survivor card. It's the first of many, I'm pretty sure. And just got to get on with the game and see where we get on from here. Now, a lot of people were fortunate in that they were coming up towards ladder rewards, and they were able to tie in their ladder reward with the launch of the Survivor tier. So some good planning, although not without a scare. There was a few people, I mentioned Kill Moose Kill, just in that little flashback bit, who, when he went to get his ladder reward on the Diva side, ended up with a legendary Diva. But Cat Daddy have been through and, so say, have made sure that everyone who got a legendary card by mistake has now been furnished with a proper Survivor card. Now, what do I think of the cards in general? Well, firstly, I do like the designs of most of them. Some of the pictures do leave a bit to be desired. I mean, Paige, again, as I mentioned before, for one of the best looking divas around, you'd have thought they could come up with some better pictures. But what I also like to see is the support cards, because it's not just support cards that have come back with the managers on the Survivor tier. They've been dotted around the various tiers. So you've got Paul Heyman's back. Paul Heyman, one of our favourites, is back in action. And if you have a look, they've come through Uncommon, they're on Super Rare, so there's things to look out for. Even if you've not made it to Survivor tier, there are these new deck support cards to look out for, which is going to be a bit of game changers and a few King of the Rings for people. So pleased to see those back. And in general, I don't know if you've had a chance yet to play with the customisation. I've had a bit of a dabble, just a little bit of a play. And I've quite enjoyed changing a few cards and changing them back again, because generally I do like to try and keep things as they were intended to be. But some, it's made a fairly decent improvement. I think one of my favourite improvements has been with the legendary card for Dolph Ziggler, which I will hopefully again have flashed around my ears somewhere so you can see it. And Stone Cold Steve Austin as well, as I've got two Stone Cold Steve Austin Epic Pros, it makes sense to change at least one of them, so you've got a deck that looks slightly different. That's what it's there for, and I like it. So, what I'm going to do now, I've not even had a chance to start powering up Bubba Ray yet, because I've had other things to do, basically. The real world keeps sticking its nose in and making me do things that drags me away from WWE SuperCard. But one tactical thing I did do, as soon as we got the release last night and everything was working, I went straight into a King of the Ring, because of course now King of the Ring rewards on Legendary, you get 2 Legendary cards for winning, rather than the Legendary and the Epic and just a Legendary for being runner-up. Now that is the runner-up prize, Legendary and an Epic card, Epic support. The beauty of that, so I thought, would be if I got in as quickly as possible. Hopefully, 1, I'd be up to Survivor tier, and 2, I'd just be fighting an army of bots, and it would really increase my chances of getting the top reward. Sadly, it was waiting for additional players to come up for quite some time, and if you have a look now, let's go through the standings. Phil's got a Survivor card, Viking Stew's got a Survivor card, Kevin's got a Survivor card. As you can see, there's a few Survivor cards already in there, so these people, albeit that some of them have obviously started off fairly slowly, looking at Scott there with his 2 wins and his 9 defeats, some of them have obviously had a chance to get their Survivor card before entering. Now, I would also take this opportunity to say hello to the gang here, because not only is it not all bots, it's quite chatty, which is always nice to see. So, Gavin, oh yeah, I'm going to be on YouTube, BadLadDad. Good spot, Gavin, and there you are, that's you on YouTube. Phil does ask me a bit later, haven't you got a YouTube channel? Cot says BLD Army. Good lads, that's what I like to see. So, hello to you guys. And there's Kevin asking me quietly, are you from BadLadDad? Yeah, well, I'm actually from London, but I'm in BadLadDad, which is the team that we created, which is myself, Big Jim, and Ninja Boy, who I keep pointing to, who's not here, but he's here in spirit. So yes, I did say to people that I probably wouldn't mention this King of the Ring till tomorrow, which is when it will conclude, but I've mentioned it today. That's the kind of rebel I am. So there's that, and then the other King of the Ring that was in for Season 1, which I'm still doing, because I still want to do some WrestleMania fusions and have a bit of fun with Season 1. As you can see, standings wise, 29 wins, 1 defeat. If you look at my cards, have a beautiful red look to them all, because you don't need to power them up because there's no one else playing, it's just me. So as you can see, there's a bit of a yo, I might as well say no yo. So what I'm going to do now, if I just actually go into exhibition deck, I haven't quite finished powering up Alberto and The Rock as well, who's a recent addition to the Pro Legendary status. As you can see, though, that deck's been good enough to get me halfway through Survivor level. So I'm just going to play a few exhibition matches just to see if we can perhaps pick up a better support card, because I've still got these ultra rare support cards that I've had for months. I've had no hint of an epic support card, no hint of a legendary support card. So it would be nice to pick up a Paul Heyman or a classy Freddie Blassie. Not quite the same strength classy Freddie Blassie as the class of 2014, but still deck cards which we haven't had so far in season 2. So let's see who we can play. Look, everyone's rocking their Survivor avatars. Can't blame them. Really can't blame them, I guess. Let's see, here we go. Now my avatar, of course, is my warrior from WrestleMania days, from WrestleMania Fusion Pros from last season, which I carried over as part of the Loyalty Fusions. And I said Legendary Fusions. Loyalty Fusion scheme. So, of course, he's now available to me in Season 2. So I have made my Epic Warrior, given him that avatar, and I will continue to do that. No matter what warriors they come out with, I shall continue to use that specific warrior. Right, let's use speed. Finn Balor is my speed guard. It's the way he's been built. I think I mentioned in the last video, with my event cards, people were asking how are you going to power people up? What's the best way to power up Alberto Del Rio? And I said, well, it's very much down to your own decks and what would work for you. Now, what I'm going to have to do it now when I go into the next match is perfect game. Perfect game. Let's see if we pick up anything nice. If you have a look at my Finn Balor, as I said, he's built for speed. Totally built for speed. And Ryback has got good power and toughness. So it makes sense. There you go. So there we go. Finn Balor, speed, 1913. Ryback in the 1800s for power and toughness. And of course, Alberto Del Rio, who is compatible with Finn Balor. I'm concentrating on charisma as his main stat there. As I say, there's still a bit of a way to go. Still got to sort out his power and his toughness and everything, apart from the abilities there. So he's still growing in the game. So that's how I've targeted what to do with him. I've seen very different builds on Alberto Del Rio, including people who've even ignored his top 2 stats and have started building up some other stats. That probably works for them within their decks. If that's what they want to do, that's what they can do. Right, Diva Tag Team. So, that of course does beg the question, did you get what you wanted? It's like going back to when you were a kid at school and find out what everyone got for Christmas. Did you get what you wanted? What did you get? What did you get? What did you get? Find out if someone got something better than you, which in my case was an awful lot of the time. So yeah, not that bowled over by Bubba Ray, but it's the start of a Survivor career, and quite a few people moaning about not getting one of the top cards. Well, there's 50 Survivor cards that have come out. It's very unlikely that you were going to get one of the top 2 or 3 best cards. Law of probability will tell you that. So I'm just glad I didn't get perhaps one of the cards at the very bottom. And as I mentioned, not only is it's the first Survivor card, but he is actually compatible with Ryback. Ryback is a yellow down arrow, and Bubba Ray is a yellow up arrow. So actually, in terms of my deck, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It gives me a few options. So I'm trying to see the good in the situation. Right, tag team. He says about to use. Oh no, I will use those. So we're going to use 2 incompatible cards. See how we got on. But I won't. So yeah, I'm just going to play up to this deck reset and see if there's any possibility any possibility at all of getting a nice support card? Because now there's all these extra cards, you would have thought the chances there of pulling out a support are probably increased. I did see, maybe going for a full deck reset's a bit ambitious, bearing in mind I've only just seen how many cards I've still got to go. Bear in mind that there's quite a few interesting tweets along the lines of people getting their first pull and then buying a few packs to see what they could get. Some people not having much luck at all, and others saying that they've pulled a second Survivor card within sort of 10, 15, 20 picks of the first one. And more than one person saying, look at this, I pulled John Cena or a Ryback or someone, and here I am 20 minutes later and I pulled another one, so I've got a pro. So very lucky, very lucky. I would dread to think how much money you would need to spend to guarantee getting yourself 8 or 9 Survivor cards, and out of that maybe 1 or 2 pros. It's going to be some serious dosh. Certainly way beyond the BadLadDad HQ funds, which are fairly low at the best of times. We're lucky we can afford this little corner to do any filming in. And actually, talking about this corner, note of decor, I'm pretty sick of the sight of these flowery curtains that were actually here, courtesy of the previous owners, about 14 years ago. Now, they do get washed, I will say that, they do get washed. But I've noticed you can get some WWE curtains. I was just thinking, as a nice backdrop perhaps, crack out some WWEs. What do you reckon? How about yes curtain or no curtain? Hashtag yes curtain, if we should change these to WWE curtains. Or hashtag no curtain, because you think the flowery look, circa 1950s Britain, looks quite fetching. That's it. See, these are serious issues that we get you voting for here on BadLadDad. If you've not seen us here before, this is the sort of breakneck speed that we move at. And this is without Ninja Boy. Once he's here, all bets are off, mate. It's just anything goes. Speed, that's got to be these two. It's nice actually having 2 compatible event cards. Makes a refreshing change. Right, I'm just not sure how much will I've got to carry on. Bearing in mind I was watching SuperZon's live Twitch stream for an hour because I knew I couldn't do my own because I had to wait for Ninja Boy this morning, and was catching up with all your guys' videos, all your YouTubers. I was trying to watch as many as possible, see what people got, and also was then trawling Twitter to get the various pictures that you saw earlier of the Survivor cards. Because of course now there's a general rule of thumb, and I think I mentioned it when myself and Ninja Boy were filming first thing, that if you've got a stat on the base card, the base stats, if you've got a stat that's 700, it's broken into the 700s, that's a good stat, and that's a decent card you've got. So that's something definitely worth building on. If you've got a card that's all around 690s, well, that sounds like you've got a fairly decent average card. If you've got Bubba Ray, you've got no chance. Do you feel sorry for me? I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you've got some horror stories you want to share out there. Why would I want to share that on Facebook? Of course I want to share it on Facebook. Right, I'm going to do one more and call it a day, because I would like to come back and do an update tomorrow. Obviously it doesn't look like we're going to get an event this weekend. Perhaps they're giving us the weekend off because Teams is going to kick in next week. Now our team has been given a rating, but I'm not going to talk about that now. I'm going to save that for tomorrow, because it may well be that they're saving Teams for the start of next week and want to give us the weekend off, because if it had started last Monday, having been up till 3:30 AM UK time on Sunday night, Monday morning, trying to get the second Alberto Del Rio, I think I'd have just thrown in the towel and not bothered. So they might have decided, well, give people a bit of a rest, and they can come in all guns blazing for team event on Monday. So obviously need to keep our eye on Cat Daddy for any updates on that front. What do you think's the best looking Survivor card so far? Are there any particular cards that have caught your eye? I'm not talking here about the actual stats, I'm just talking aesthetically about the look. As I mentioned, I think in general, I think they're pretty smart looking cards. I think they've done a good job, so I'm quite pleased with how they look in general. It doesn't mean to say I won't be changing a few once I get to them, but yeah, let me know what your favourites are, and indeed, did you get your favourite? And these deck cards, have you got a deck card yet? There's quite a few people tweeting that they've had quite a lot of success. They're picking up some epics and legendaries since Survivor Tier came out. It would be nice. I could do with boosting my legendary pro side of things, especially when we get to Road to Glory. Right, that's all very boring, isn't it? Common Ladder! That's a high note to finish on. Well, there we go. One thing that's not changed, I think I mentioned it in my last tweet, one thing that's not changed is my my luck on decks. The last two events, the highest card that I've picked, bearing in mind I've been on Legendary Plus Plus, the highest card I've picked has been a rare, and then a super rare, and then another rare, and perhaps another couple of super rares. Nothing higher than that. No epics, no legendaries, nothing. They've all come from King of the Rings, so my luck is due to change, and it's due to change big time, and I want you guys to be there to see it, so don't miss our next WWE SuperCard video, and the one after that, and the one after that. The best way of doing that, please subscribe down below, share, like, do whatever you can to spread the word of BadLadDad and the BLD Army. But as I always say at this point, the best way of keeping up to date with our latest news and what day videos are coming out, and indeed what time they're coming out, is follow us on Twitter at BadLadDad. That's where I tend to lurk quite a bit, and please do carry on sending your tweets with how you're getting on, what decks you're rocking, what cards you've pulled. It's always interesting to see. And again, it can provide graphics for some of the things that you've seen floating around my head during the course of this video. Hopefully Ninja Boy will be back with me next time round, but until then, stay cool.